And welcome to the show, everybody. We have got a great guest for you. Rochelle, how are you? You're not on camera. Why?
You know, I wish I could control the internet and I could answer that question, Kevin, but I am just so pleased to be here today, and we are blessed to be able to have Lisa Conway, who gets to talk to us about her book, which she is the author of Shocked, we're going to talk all about. But she works with people who are dealing with suicidal thoughts, individuals with depression, OCD, anxiety disorders, and her own story of what happened to her trying to get through that process and where she's at now to help other people who maybe experience the same thing. Aren't you excited?
I am. Well, and I think most of us would say, that's not even a thing anymore. But we're going to get into all that. We're going to play the opening, and then we'll be right back with Lisa Conway. Don't go away, anybody. There's a moment in every life when you decide to rise.
To stand taller than your fear.
To speak louder than your doubt.
To chase the vision that sets your soul on fire.
This is that moment. And here we walk it together with stories that awaken, voices that inspire,
and truths that set you free.
This is Positive Talk Radio with Kevin
and with Rochelle,
where hope has a voice.
And that voice is yours.
And welcome to the show, everybody. By the way, if you are listening in and you would like to comment, you can do that by going, to the comment section and put in a comment, and we'll read it aloud on the air and stuff. And Lisa Conway is our guest. And the first time, I have to tell you this, Lisa, the first time when we met, and you said that you had ECT, and I said, what the hell is that? And you said it's correct me if I'm wrong, electric, can you give me the
electroshock therapy.
Wow, electroshock therapy. Electroconvulsive therapy.
And it's a convulsive part that I didn't really, that's still a thing?
If you break it down, okay, electro is the electricity. So what they're doing is they're taking little leads and putting them on your head. Okay, it's in a hospital or an outpatient center. Okay, but they're taking electrodes so they can send pulses of electricity through your brain. What they want to happen is that electricity, they want it to cause a seizure. That's the convulsive part. Now, think about this. How many people do you know that have epilepsy that have to take medicine to prevent a seizure? Right?
I know lots of people.
Well, they gave me over 100 seizures.
Oh, Lord.
That's just crazy. And I'm so glad that you're still here. And by the way, Brittany Collins says, so happy to be here.
Oh, wonderful. Wonderful. She's awesome.
And so you have taken the time to write a book called Shocked. And I love, and go ahead and hold that up, and that is great. And with you and your service dog Teddy, and I'm just so pleased to have both of you in the same room. Teddy is lying down, just kind of chilling because
this is the end of the day for him. Yeah,
he's got more work to do tomorrow with you and stuff. Yeah. And we're going to talk about all of that and all of the things that you've been through, because I can't believe I didn't even know it was a thing anymore. I can't believe it's still happening. But you're telling us that, and Rochelle, she's saying that it happens all over the world. Is that what you heard?
Unfortunately, it almost happened to me as a child, and I'm glad my mama was the one to say, I don't think we're going to try that. But when I had Lisa pop up into our world and come and tell us that it is still actually way more common than we realize, it was quite a shock to me myself. So Lisa, tell us about that a little bit so that people can know.
first of all, it's not just in the United States. They say about 100,000 people have shock therapy in the United States every year.
You're kidding.
But it's worldwide. I have texted with people from Finland, Scotland, Australia is a big one, Canada, the UK. Yeah, it's all over.
Wow.
And each country has a different way of
Introducing it, maybe?
Here's one thing you're going to learn. The shock treatments gave me a brain injury. Okay. They sent electricity through my brain. So a lot of things in my brain don't work. Okay.
Yeah.
They told me I would have short-term memory loss, but it would come back. Okay. In other words, don't let someone drive you home and then you leave the stove on. Have somebody watch over you. Okay. Maybe spotty long-term memory and probably some headaches. Well, after I had them a while, I started having problems processing information. In other words, what you just said, it has to go into my ears, okay? And then a part of my brain has to process what the heck you just said. And then it has to tell my mouth how to get it out my mouth. Right?
So it's a multi-step process that a lot of us take for granted because we don't have to think about it. You do. You have to think about the processes of hearing, processing, and speaking what you think you just heard. And it's, I gotta ask you now, originally, when you started having this, what was the problem they were trying to fix?
My book tells a lot about like my history, my psychiatric history. I had OCD, anxiety, anorexia. Then they said bipolar, and they said medication-resistant depression. And those are the 3 words that get you straight to ECT. The psychiatric world uses a lot of medication. Okay. And they're trying different medications on me and they're not working. But medications take a long time to start working, you know?
Yeah.
They could take 3 or 4 weeks. Well, the insurance doesn't want to keep you in the hospital for 3 or 4 weeks. I have a quick answer to that problem. Why don't we start doing ECT? So what happened was I was very depressed, severely depressed, most of my life. And it started kind of as a postpartum type of thing. It kind of came out of the blue. And stick with me here.
Take your time. We're good.
We really tried everything. I went to the hospital, you know, and the thing that gets you into the hospital is, are you a harm to yourself or others? Well, I was a harm to myself. I wanted to die. So they tried different medicines. They had me in the hospital. I went to groups and nothing was working. So the psychiatrist basically said this was a last ditch kind of a hope thing. And everything was safe and effective. And we went with that. And I don't know how I have such a bad memory. I don't know exactly how it snowballed into over 100 shock therapy treatments. I don't have that memory anymore. My long-term memory's gone. So, for example, I really don't know what I did yesterday. I really have no idea. It took away my long-term memory, and my short-term memory is just horrible. But it was a cycle of being depressed, going into the hospital, having the shock treatments, and the shock treatments worked on the short term in terms of getting me not to be suicidal. Okay. But I would get back into the world and the cycle would start again. So I would be able, I was a licensed social worker, medical social worker in hospitals, nursing homes, hospice, home health. And those are very difficult jobs. There's a lot of things going on. And what happens when you have a brain injury is when you have a brain injury, it's hard to do more than one thing at a time. Okay. So the example I give everybody is, well, my husband cooks most of the meals. He's wonderful. He's absolutely wonderful. And I can't cook a whole meal because you have to have everything ready.
Right.
You have the chicken and the rice and the potatoes. Well, I can do the chicken, but I can't give you rice or potatoes.
Well, that's all right. That's all right.
Yeah.
Neither could my ex-wife. So,
Without a brain injury.
Do
Yeah,
one
exactly.
thing at a time. It's very limiting, because when I was a social worker, I had 30 patients at one time, jumping from one to the other, and it's not possible for me anymore. So here I am.
Well,
I'd
go
love
ahead,
to ask
Rochelle.
you, just right before this break, did the symptoms of the memory and the other things that you have developed now, was that like over a period of time, or was it kind of just like one day you recognized how severe it was, type of thing?
It was over a period of time. Initially, it was definitely the short-term memory.
Right.
And we knew that right away, but I would go into the doctor's office so frequently, I would say my short-term memory it's not getting better. It's not getting better. And all he could tell me was, give it time.
Got you.
And give it time, I heard, for months and years.
And by the way, Olivia has a question that we're going to answer. And she said, concerning your book, Shocked, what inspired you to write it from a personal experience? Of course, this has been your life over the last period of time. And I got to ask you, how long does it take to do 100 shock therapies on a person? They must have been shock. You must have been shocked for years.
Yeah, you like the name of the book, do you?
I do. It is shocking.
I had so many different names, and then all of a sudden I was like, that's it. So the book is a memoir, and it is about my depression, what it did to my family, what the depression was like. And it was all about going through the therapies and going through the side effects and what those side effects were, like doing two things at once I can't do anymore. Multitasking is off the shelf. I can't do that anymore. Okay. I have problems finishing sentences sometimes. Okay. And a lot of people with ECT end up with some type of brain injury or brain damage. So what ended up happening was I didn't realize how bad it was until I went running and I got lost. I'm a runner. My dad's a runner. We're all runners. And my father, I was at my parents' house and I went for a run, and I'd done that run, I don't know how many times. And all of a sudden, I didn't know where I was. Now, I had run this course many times, and I looked around. I didn't know where I was. One time it happened on a retreat up in the country. And I told myself, if I have to turn, country roads, if I have to turn, I'll just turn right. Make it simple. Well, they started sending people out looking for me because I was completely, didn't know where I was, drank all my water, my iPhone died. And when I looked at my running watch, it said over 8 miles.
Ooh.
I had gone over 8 miles over a period of a couple of hours. I had no idea where I was. And when I was on that Facebook group for ECT survivors, it's an international group, there were people on there that were getting lost. Now, you don't hear about that. Mm-mm. And when I heard other people were having problems with getting lost, I nearly fell off the chair. I thought it was just they make you feel like it's just you.
Yep.
If they're doing this to 100,000 people in the United States alone every year, it ain't just you. Yeah. It's a whole bunch. And by the way, we're talking with Lisa Conway. Rochelle, her website, please.
Yes, you can go to authorlisac.com. She's got everything on there, including a little special somebody named Teddy that I'd like to talk about when we come back, because he has been, well, I'll let you tell us when we come back about Teddy. So everybody visit her website, authorlisac.com, and we'll be right back.
And this is a moment of hope for you, my dear, because we're going to play a couple of these points to ponder, and I'm genuinely hoping that the last bit is absolutely true for you. Here's another point to ponder by Positive Talk Radio. A sailor in a storm once battled waves so fierce they nearly sank his ship. He discovered storms, they don't last forever, but strong sailors do. Life will shake you, test you, and even try to break you. But if you hold steady and keep moving forward, the skies will clear, and when they do, you will see how powerful you have become. You are... Here's another point to ponder by Positive Talk Radio. After the longest night, the sun rose again. It painted the sky with colors no one had seen before. That's how life works. Darkness never lasts forever. No matter how long the night feels, your sunrise will come. Hold on. Light always finds its way back. You're listening to Positive Talk Radio, where stories of hope live. And welcome back to Positive Talk. I'm sorry, Lisa, go ahead.
You and Rochelle just do an amazing job. For me, for someone who has dealt with depression my entire life, when I hear your voice, I feel that there's some hope. Like I'm not the only one out there that this is happening to. And it just gives me a lift. And sometimes when you're depressed and home all day long while everybody else is working, because I can't work because I have a brain injury, there really isn't anybody to talk to. And then I hear your voice and, and I'm like, I kind of perk up a little bit. So thank you for having this show. This really it's an amazing show. Rochelle, thank you very much.
Of course, Lisa. Thank you so much for being here and for that feedback. And you just talked about the little things that we need that are helpful to lift us up. Would you like to talk to us a little bit about Teddy and what he's been for you?
Wow. We had, I don't remember exactly how all of this happened, but I remember saying to my husband, I needed a dog. Mm-hmm. I was alone all day long, terribly depressed, and nobody to call because everybody was working. And I don't know where my husband got Teddy from, but Teddy showed up. And
That's how it happens.
all over the house. I couldn't go anywhere without him. And then I started noticing, like, I would take him for walks, and he started knowing where the car was, which I didn't really get at first. I used to play a game with him. Okay, it's called fetch. Okay, in our house, it's called find it. Okay, so here's the ball. Okay, find the ball, find it, and I kept saying find it all over again. He already knew it was a ball, so he knew to go get it. So every time we got in the car, I would say car. Now we were not too far away from it. Find the car. And he'll go right to it. I can go 2 miles into the woods and he will lead me back to my car. We've done probably 5 half marathons together, and one really amazing marathon that I talk about in the book. But what came from it, when I realized what was happening, my depression, when I started running, and I ran with a group here in the area, and we ran 3 times a week. My depression kind of faded. I had socialization, I had friends, everybody was energetic, and I had exercise. Guess what? There was more blood flow to the brain. Not only did my depression subside, believe me, it was still there, but it wasn't severe. Okay. And I will say it's probably been at least 8 years since I've been out of the hospital, which is amazing because I used to be in 2, 3, 4 times a year. And it's been 8 years since I have been in the hospital.
Congratulations. So that's really good news.
Thank you. But that was running. That was running and exercising.
Well, I'm willing to bet that it was Teddy.
Well, you know what? We ran so often and so consistently. My brain injury, my symptoms, my memory, my organizational things, my skills weren't nearly as severe as they had been.
They tell me that your brain can rewire itself, and with the right stimulus, it can rewire itself in a great way. And I got to tell you, I had a border collie for 15 years, and they are the most remarkable animals. I swore that my dog, his name was Wesley. Did you ever see the movie Princess Bride?
Who hasn't?
Yes. Well, and
actually, me. My dog is named after him, Zero, and I've still never seen the movie. I'm horrible, but I'll do that.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway.
Wesley the farm boy is what we called Wesley, and he was also the Dread Pirate Roberts because he had black around his eyes. But he was, and I swore that dog could drive a car if I gave him the keys and he could figure out how to get to the pedals. He was that smart. And we've got Olivia has got another comment, and she says that must be a very tough experience, and it is, and it was, and we're going to save this part because we want you to be able to give advice to others that are facing this exact problem. But
if you remind me what the question is, because in 5 minutes I'll forget.
I will indeed.
Glad I'm
And
helping you, my dear.
I'm really learning a lot from you, Lisa, and that's Marion Everett. And Amelia said, I also believe your story would inspire a lot of younger generation and perhaps parents that to do what Brachelle's mom did. And by the way, thank you, Heather, for not having them do that to Brachelle, because she's turned out
Probably thought about it. I won't lie. I was out of control. No, but yes, please. Thank you so much for bringing that up, Amelia and Kevin, bringing light to this, because I think that she said, that's a lovely dog. I wish I also have a dog like you, girl. Brittany, that dog is out there. And when you say you're ready, it will come to you. So be prepared. But Lisa, what are things that we can do to learn as adults, as parents, as counselors, as people on the outside, to be aware of this before it happens?
Anybody that is even considering ECT, I've been trying to be on the internet more, so people who are thinking about doing ECT will find me first. Okay, what happens before you do each treatment? There's a consent form, and you have to sign the form, and then they do the procedure. The form never said anything about long-term cognitive problems. And that's where I have an issue. You tell me out straight what it's going to do to me long-term, and then it's my decision, right? They took that decision away from me. Not only did they not get rid of the depression, because it was still there after the treatments, but then it gave me a brain injury. And I need people to know that there is help. Any type of movement or exercise that you can do on a regular basis, the difference that it made for me, I can't even explain. And you know what? When I was in that running club, and I still am, it's like having your own cheerleaders. They love to post pictures on the internet, on Facebook. Good job. I saw you. Great job. Good job, Teddy. And it's like there was this cheering squad for me and for Teddy. All of that positive reinforcement and having that around me lifted me up. But you have to get your support system. It wasn't just running that did it. It was running. It was the support system. It was my family. It was going to therapy. And what I found, and only recently, and this is what really gets me, is that there's therapy for this, for brain injuries. When someone, most times people think of a brain injury like someone having a car accident. At least that's what I usually think of when I hear about a brain injury or brain damage or whatever. You think about the person that hit his head really hard. Thank you, ECT. I'm not sure where I left off. I'll tell you this, my brain will stop at any time during the day, because see, Kevin, your battery for the day is like this.
right.
Okay, you got a full battery. This is my battery for the day, for my brain and for my body. So I have to take naps. I had to plan for being here with you. I had to take a nap this afternoon. Otherwise, well, my mouth would stop working like it just did.
Well, I'm not as young as I used to be, and I like to take naps in the afternoon too. So, but, but Rochelle, and by the way, we are talking with Lisa Conway, her website again, and the book that we want to make sure everybody has an opportunity to get, and that is called Shocked. Rochelle, go ahead.
Yes, everybody go and check out her book by going to her website, authorlisac.com. Shocked, Breaking the Stigma of Mental Illness and the Silence of Shock Therapy. And I just have to tell you, Lisa, that I hope that you are so damn proud of yourself for moving forward, to speaking up about it, to wanting to help other people and bring light and awareness to this, to people who don't even know what's going on, because it seems like some horrendous movie that we may not think is real, but it is our reality. And figuring out that maybe eating a little healthier and being in a community and doing all the things that you don't want to do, but deserve to do, and that being able to help you and you allowing that. I just think it is insanely powerful, and you've got a long life ahead of you, girl. So thank you everybody for being in this conversation, who's been asking questions and showing so much support. So go to authorlisac.com. The book Shocked is available everywhere, and we'll be right back, so don't leave us.
No, we got lots more to talk about, so we'll be right back. You're listening to Positive Talk Radio Network. We're on a mission to entertain, enlighten, empower, and educate through inspiring music, dynamic conversations, and yes, laughter. Join me, Kevin McDonald, and Rochelle as we declare our freedom from hate, division, and fear, and celebrate a better way of living. Go to positivetalkradio.net to find out more.
If you're a woman running a business and feeling stretched, overwhelmed, or stuck in reaction mode, this isn't a you problem, it's a CEO shift problem. The Women's Success Summit is where women entrepreneurs stop working in their business and start leading it like the CEO. You'll leave with clarity, strategy, and an action plan that you can actually use right now. If you're serious about your business and your growth, this room is for you. Don't miss the Women's Success Summit, April 13th. Connect with a community of powerful women and gain real strategies to grow your business. Seats are limited. Register at p2q.link/summit26.
And welcome back to Positive Talk. My name is Kevin, and Rochelle's here. She's got connectivity issues, but she's on the phone with us, aren't you, Rochelle?
Oh, yes, I'm always here, people. Don't you doubt it. Maybe not on camera, but for the voice. And today we are so honored to have Lisa Conway with us, talking about her adventure through electroshock therapy and how she's helping other people who maybe didn't know it was a thing, or bringing light to those who have gone through it as well. So everybody go to her website, authorlisac.com, and check out her book, Shocked.
And
For
Lisa,
sure.
go ahead.
Yes.
No, go ahead. You first.
Okay. This is the reason that I'm jumping in there. If I let you talk, I'll forget what I wanted to say. You'll find that with people that have brain injuries. I will interrupt you because if I let you say what you're going to say, my thought is gone.
No worries. Thank you for stopping us.
So now I have to think about why the heck I just interrupted you.
She was talking about your website and about the book and
one of the things that I want to say is that after I published the book, people were finding me on Facebook and sending me messages, and they were all saying, "Oh my God, I could have written the book myself. That's exactly what happened to me." And I thought,
take it,
they
honey.
They isolate us so much. And And there's never any validation that this is not your fault. Okay? So when people were telling me that the same thing was happening to them, and I'm getting, I'm getting all of these messages. I didn't have any concept of how widespread this really is. And one other thing I want to say before I forget, it was only a couple of years ago, you'll enjoy this. It was only a couple of years ago that my brain stuff I always say brain stuff. My brain stuff started getting worse. And there's no long-term studies, so nobody knows, what's going to happen. I don't know, Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, I don't know. But anyway, it was getting worse. And I thought we better see a neurologist because it was how the brain was working. So we went in, and it was 3 or 4 months to see this, to see the neurologist. So we made the appointment, but we saw the PA for an hour. She was wonderful. She was so good. Not only did she send me for speech therapy, I know you think it's speech. It is speech, but it's brain therapy. She did exercises with me for my brain, like writing down certain things or looking at things a certain way. The one, oh my God, I could kill her. There were all these lines of letters, and she wanted me to find the I's and the J's and cross them out in 500 letters. And the first time I said, normal people can't do this, can they? And it took almost the whole session. Then I finally did it all by myself, and it took me 5 minutes. She does speech therapy. She does brain therapy. So if you have access, any place where there's physical therapy, guess what? They have speech therapy there. And all you got to do is ask your doctor for a referral. She has made the biggest difference in my world. And no one ever told me. That psychiatrist never told me. And that's what... There's Teddy.
Teddy says, I agree.
I understand the whole brain injury and everything, but he never got me help. I could have had help years ago. And that help was there. It was available. But he didn't send me for help. He didn't send me for brain therapy. And I'm going to say this is a brilliant doctor. I know he's a brilliant doctor. You can't tell me you don't know that there's that therapy out there. I could have had this years ago. So anybody out there, please talk to your doctor, find out how you can get speech therapy. If you've had ECT, they will work with you. It seems like stupid little exercises, like in the beginning, but it made a whole heck of a lot of difference in my life.
Well, Lisa, there's a couple things that I want to say. First of all, a doctor that orders this procedure and you end up with some sort of an issue, they're not going to want to really talk about it because there are legal issues that are implicated here. And so consequently, they don't want to admit that maybe it was less than successful. And the other thing that I really want to say, and this is from the bottom of my heart, dear, and that is, do you know that the oceans of the world, we have explored 5% of the oceans of the world. So 95% we don't know anything about. The same thing holds true with our brains. They don't know enough about it. But what they're discovering, this is new science. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a psychologist, but what they're discovering is the brain has the magical capacity to rewire itself if it's given the right stimulus. It's finding the right stimulus to get everything moving again. And I am confident, I am sure, with the work that you're doing, with running with Teddy, with the community that you've developed, that all of this is going to end up being, you're going to end up regaining some of the things that medical science has taken away from you. And I pray for that for you every day. Rochelle, what do you think?
I agree 100%. And not only do I think it's possible, but I think you of all people would be the one to do it. You've gone through the wars maybe more than the average person just because it was so long, but you learned all the things that bring this to light and awareness so that other people know that there's something out there that is available that can help them, that can just make everyday life a little bit easier. And Debbie Clark is here. She says, have the pleasure of being in the running group with Lisa and Teddy. And she also says the book is very enlightening. I am in a medical profession and learned so much.
I'm trying to get into, I just did a lecture at one of our universities, and I'm trying to get into the universities to lecture on ECT and people with brain injuries from ECT, because those nurses and those social workers and the physician assistants and the speech pathologists and the physical therapists, because I had to go there too, because I kept losing my balance and falling, all of those disciplines are going to come in contact with people that have had ECT and that have brain injuries. So if you work at a university or a college and we can work something out, I don't know, but I will tell whoever I have to tell in this world about my story, because I know there's people out there and they're afraid to come forward, and either they're afraid to or they can't because the brain damage is so bad. Somehow my brain damage allows me, I over years, because I'm using it so much with the book, now I'm talking so much. So I'm practicing talking. They can't speak as well as I can because of their brain injury that was caused by the ECT. They can't speak for themselves.
Well, and the other thing is they're not working and they're home alone. And what you've done is you've taken the position that you're going to help people by writing the book, by doing the lectures, by talking to us, and you're doing those things, and those are going to be very helpful, not only to other people, but they're going to be helpful for you as well. And thank you for what you're doing. Rochelle, this is so inspiring, isn't it?
Yeah, honestly, there's an ignorance almost that it makes me think that, there's just an everyday life that happens. All of us, we're just consistently going nonstop. And if we could just pause and take the moment of gratitude to have that, to be so aware and in our lives. And it also brings awareness if you're out there and you see somebody who maybe looks like they're lost or doesn't know what's going on. And, maybe there's somebody, they could be walking around us all over the place, and just to be the person who's willing to be out there and help. And again, Lisa, I really do believe that you're going to be the one to prove that you can believe in rewiring the brain. And although it may take time, I'm glad you have so much support and community, because that is very, very important for us to have.
Thank you, Rochelle. As you were talking, I'm remembering now something I wanted to say before. Okay. I told you I went to see that PA, that physician assistant. Uh-huh. And she was the one who sent me for that therapy. And I still go, actually. I go once a month. Before it was every week or twice a week. But when we finally got to the appointment with the neurologist, and as far as I knew, it was a pretty well-known neurologist in the area. You want to know what he said?
What did he say?
I'm going to try and get this out without crying. I don't treat ECT patients. Go back to your psychiatrist. Word for word. I don't treat ECT patients. Go back to your psychiatrist.
Did he say why, or was it I don't want, I ain't getting involved. You got to talk to your psychologist because he's the one who did this to you. Was it kind of like that?
Because isn't that who
They don't
you
want
were
to get
sent
involved.
to?
They don't want to get involved.
Because they didn't.
There's neurologists out there that are dying to make things right, and it's just the medical community. Everybody supports everyone else, and whatever. But what do you do with that? And that's the problem, is people can't get help because the doctors won't treat them. As soon as they hear ECT, hands off. They don't want to have anything to do with us. It's hard to get good care because no one will listen.
Yeah. I don't understand that, Kevin. Do you?
No. Well, I understand it from a lawyerly point of view.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to have to deal with any of that. So they just, for them, it's more like, oh, hands off. We're not going to.
Yeah.
And in my family, we're facing a similar situation with a physical problem that my son has with his nose. Nobody wants to touch it. Because it's complicated, and it's not an easy thing that takes a 15-minute meeting or a 15-minute appointment, and they give you a pill and everything is going to be fine. This is a program that was created for you by somebody else, and it's going to take time for you to work through it with great people that you're going to have around you, and keep working and find those great people, because they can, and keep doing the work that you're doing, and keep running and keep working with Teddy. I got to tell you that you've become, do you know how famous you've become?
I'm not sure. I mean,
no, in the group.
I know I put my life out there with the book. I mean, and I'm usually a pretty private person, but I guess by this time, anything goes.
Well, with you and Teddy, they're like, there they go again, and there's Teddy, and so you feel really good about the woman that you are, and the contribution that you're making, because you're doing something on behalf of so many people who cannot. Because of their speech difficulties, or the synapses aren't working quite as well yet, and that kind of thing. So thank you for what you're doing. And Amelia would like to know, what themes do you want most? Rochelle, can you read? I am having apparently trouble.
Yes, no problem. Amelia Hernandez is here. She says, what themes did you most want readers to take away from this book?
One of the things I want people to understand is that there was no informed consent. There was no transparency, and there is no transparency in the psychiatric world. The consent never said anything about long-term cognitive problems. If they put a consent form in front of you, read it. Do your homework, check the web, find as much information as possible before they do anything to you. They're doing all these kinds of crazy things now, TMS, ketamine. Before, you know what? One of the last appointments I had with this psychiatrist, and this is, I was finally, getting back on my feet. He said he wanted to implant something into my chest. I wasn't depressed. but he still wanted to put something, and it was to help depression. Just do your homework. That's it. Please just do your homework. Look on Facebook groups. There's an international ECT survivor group, and there's about 800 or 900 of us. It's worldwide. If you have questions or a problem, or you need to talk something over, that's where you go. And if not, then find me on Messenger and I'll tell you.
And most importantly, be your own best self advocate. Because I'm Lisa, I was thinking about this going, okay, so let me get this straight. You're going to hook electrodes up to my head, and you're going to run electricity into my brain, and you have no doubt where it's going and what impact it's going to have and how it's good. See, to me, I'm a layman. I don't know any better, but to me, the only time that I've seen that people put electricity into your head is in the electric chair and when they're killing people. I can't imagine that it would be something that would be positive or that they know what the outcome is going to be. Does that make sense?
You struck a nerve, and you talked about the electric chair. There's something in my book. I don't know if have you ever seen the movie The Green Mile?
Incessantly. I love that movie.
Yes,
Tom
ma'am.
Hanks. Okay. So they're on death row. The Green
Yep.
Mile is the length of whatever that they walk when they go to the electric chair. Okay. And
Yep.
Big John Coffey, big, beautiful, gentle black man. He has this relationship with the head chief of people. Wow, this is tough. When I watched that movie, there's a point in the movie where, and they show you how they put people in the electric chair, right?
Yep.
They get their feet, and they, with those big metal things, they put the feet in and they put something here and put something here. Okay. And there's a metal cap, right? And that's where the electricity comes from. So there's a metal cap,
a metal cap.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Before they put the metal cap on your head, there's a bucket of water on the floor. They take a wet sponge, put it on their head, and then put the metal cap, and they strap it on. When I had my ECT, they put a wet sponge on my head. And what are you doing? Water is a good connector, whatever, of electricity. I don't know. And after that, it was like going to the electric chair. I can't not see the two together.
I don't blame you, because it also
100 times, Lisa?
Over 100.
You are one of the most powerful survivors known to man, and I hope you carry that and walk around with it as your armor, because you deserve that.
I'm going to tell you, my family has truly been traumatized by this. And it's not just me. Mostly I've been in a fog, not knowing what's up and what's down. And they're watching this. They're watching their loved one not be able to do things, walking into walls, dropping things, not being able to finish my sentences. They see it every day. Everyone that has ECT has a family, and the family's traumatized too. And
So, Lisa,
nobody's getting help.
have you come to learn any ways that you can share with us to bring more awareness to this, to maybe shut this way of doing treatment down?
Right now, it's really an individual type of thing. It's not regulated. The FDA does not regulate ECT. What that means is the FDA, if they approve a medication, correct?
Yep.
Right. And they say you can't give a person more than this, 50 milligrams, whatever. Okay. They give the doctors parameters. ECT has no parameters. So if you're not responding to the amount of electricity that they're doing, they increase it. I had over 100 treatments. I want to know what the last needle said. It is not regulated in this country. Doctors are regulated, I think, by each particular state. A lot of things have to happen in Congress for us to work on this. This is going to be a long-term battle.
Now, short of that, because, and I have to tell you, I had no idea that this was actually still going on. And by the way, Audrey Moore says, hello, everyone. Brittany Collins introduced me to this community, and I'm excited to be here with you all.
Hi, Audrey. Thanks for being
It's so
here.
good that you're here. Thank you so much. Tell your story. Everybody just tell your story. People, I don't want to say you're going to shock the heck out of people, but you're going to shock everybody.
We need that shock, I think.
I can't not use that word. You know what? This was done at my local hospital.
Well, and here's...
Call your local hospital and see if they do ECT. I guarantee you they do. They don't tell anybody, but they do.
Well, and here's the thing, Lisa, is that when you had this done, there was somebody who was with you, and it was your family, and they didn't know any better. And the psychologist or the whoever it was said that, oh, yeah, this will help. This will be a good thing. We now know that it is not a good thing. And there are many, many other ways. There is mindfulness, there's meditation, there's a lot of different things that people can be doing that is not so invasive as to run electrical shocks through your brain. So do not, if you are a caregiver or you are somebody that has to sign that paper for consent, don't. Get other opinions. Do not subject the one that you love to this, because it can be a long road back. Am I right?
Yeah. If you please read the book, please.
Yes.
I'm begging people, at least you'll understand the story. You'll understand what happens. And even if you didn't have ECT, it talks a lot about depression. It talks, I have a great chapter in there about anorexia because I was in a hospital for 3 months. So what did I do but journal? I have a journal for 3 months of being in the hospital of an eating disorder unit. So the book isn't just for ECT people, but if you read the book, you'll feel connected. You will feel someone reaching out and telling you it's okay. It's okay to tell your story. I have resources on the back. Their books, their web pages, Facebook groups. And there's also one wonderful, it's a web, see, this is my brain. Let me slow down. Lifeafterect.org. That's the name of the website. That's the best website you can go to get the most up-to-date information, the actual true up-to-date information about ECT.
Say that again. Lifewithect.org? Or life after?
I don't
Life
remember
after.
it. Life.
You're fine, hon. Don't worry about it. It's
Life after
life,
Kevin.
lifeafterect.org.
Perfect.
perfect. And
That's how bad my memory is. It's immediate. That immediate recall is just out the window.
But that's also how good it is because it came back.
Yes.
That happens to me too, Lisa. Don't worry.
and Lisa, I want to thank you so much for being here, having the bravery to put yourself out there, to writing the book, Shocked. And everybody needs to read that book. And certainly if you have somebody that is suffering from depression or ADD or ADHD or any of the other things.
Any of the DDs.
Yeah, exactly. Read the book before you go and start messing around with the human brain, because and put all shock stuff. I had no idea. So, but you're
Try
going
to do it holistically. Come on.
Yes,
There's a
indeed.
lot of things you can do holistically, really. There's just so much out there.
So, Lisa, you're going to have to come back. Will you come back? And it's absolutely on us.
You guys have been, you don't know how much it means to me that I can tell my story like this. I've been praying that somehow I can get my story out to the most people that will hear it and that will know what I'm talking about. And you've given me a wonderful opportunity, Kevin and Brichelle. Just thank you. Thank you so much. I don't know how else to thank you, but this is what I needed.
You're thanking us by doing the work that you're doing.
Yep. So thank you.
So, Brichelle, Brichelle, your job is to take us out now.
Yes. Well, thank you, Kevin, for an amazing day. I love working together alongside you. We have the most powerful days. And Lisa, thank you for the courage to come and share your story around the globe and to teach people and to be willing to just keep swimming every single day. So you are truly inspiring. Everybody go to her website, authorlisac.com, and you can see the book Shocked that she has there and all the other cool stuff. And make sure you reach out and let her know after you read the book. And Lisa, until next time, we love you and take care of yourself. Same to all.
Thank you.
And I just want to say one more thing. If you're listening to this now or in the future, you are required to go out, and I mean this sincerely, you are required to go out and get the book Shocked by Lisa Conway, because somebody in your world is going to need it, and they're going to need you to be an advocate for them. And I got to tell you, and Avery is sad that he's so sorry for joining in late. Hello, everybody. Brittany Collins connected me here. It's truly amazing to be part of this live, and thank you, Avery.
Hey,
And
Avery,
thank
thanks for being
you,
here.
Brittany.
Yes,
Brittany.
thank you, Brittany. We love the support that you have, and I think it's just an even bigger message is why it is so important for us to be here and be connected and be one to realize, as me and Kevin say every single day, people. But also thank you, Kevin, for bringing that up. Go and get it in your local bookstore, your mom and pop center, maybe even at your local cafe or the new medical center you started going to, so that people can know that they have this option for the book Shocked. And thank you again, Lisa.
And do this one last thing for me, if you're still listening to me, which you may not be. Anyway, do this for me. If you have a favorite bookseller and it's a mom and pop, and they're working hard to make a living and selling books, and they're doing it from the bottom of their heart because they just truly love the written word. I want you to go in there and say, hey, do you have the book Shocked by Lisa Conway? And they'll look it up. Oh, let me look in my computer. And they'll say, oh, no, I don't have it, but we can get it. And I said, well, here, this is what you do. Go and you buy 10 copies. I'll buy 2 from you. And then you put 8 on the shelf so that somebody else who needs this, it's right there and is available for them. And tell them Kevin told you to do it. And which will give that in a quarter.
Please leave a review. I don't understand how this whole Amazon, Kindle, Goodreads things work, but something about leaving more reviews is supposed to be a good thing.
What it does is it validates the work that you've done, and that it has value to people. The more reviews, so that's another great point. Write a 5-star review for the book and get it. And Lisa, you're going to have to come back. We love you. We care for you, and give Teddy a good belly rub for us, would you?
I will.
Yes.
Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Michelle.
Of course. Thank you. We love you, everybody. Have a good one.
Thank you for being part of Positive Talk with Kevin McDonald, where stories inspire and voices remind us of what truly matters. May today's conversation give you hope, courage, and a reason to keep moving forward. And just remember, till next time, be kind to one another because each other's all we've got.